So we're just going to spend this last unit talking a little bit about measurement, specifically about things like accuracy and precision and tolerance, because these do have, I mean, when you're doing when you're measuring things, when you're building things or creating things like precision and accuracy and tolerance are very important. So a lot of people think, and they do this often, they use these two words interchangeably. They think that they mean the same thing. Technically, they don't. Okay? Accuracy, as you see here, is how close a measurement is to the true value or the quantity of the object. Okay? So like if you've got an object that you're measuring the length of, and you use some kind, obviously you have to use some kind of instrument, a ruler, to measure it. Okay? Accuracy means like how close is your measurement that you use the ruler with to the actual length of this. Okay? Precision means if you measure several times, do you get about the same value every time? Okay? So precision requires multiple measurements. Because, like, let's say, well, actually, I'll talk about this a little bit later. But that's sort of between the two. Okay? Accuracy, how close to the true value we are, if we're measuring the length of something, if we're measuring the weight of something, if we're measuring the height of something, whatever. Precise is if we did it over and over and over again, would we get the same results that are very close to each other? So before I go back to precision of a measuring instrument, here's a good example. Okay? We have a bent ruler. This would not be accurate, would it? Okay, because it's bent, it's not straight. So it would not be accurate. But if you measured several times using this bent ruler, it would be fairly precise. You'd keep getting the wrong measurement, but it would be precise. That's the difference between the two. And we'll do another example on the next page that highlights the difference between accuracy and precision. And so finally, just the precision of a measuring instrument, that refers to the smallest unit of scale on the instrument. Okay? So for example, if you were to pull out a ruler here, like this one, it's measured in, and you guys should be familiar with measuring in inches and metric. You know, within, you should have some experience with it. But if we measure in metric, notice that centimeters are listed, but there's 10 notches in between each centimeter, right? So that means it's 1/10 of a centimeter is how precise this object is, or 1 millimeter. Right? These little notches represent 1 millimeter. So that's how precise this is. If those notches weren't there, we would, if it was just the centimeters, we would say it's precise to the nearest centimeter. Okay? We always look at the smallest notches. For imperial units like inches, it's a little bit more complicated, okay? Because there's notches between inches, like 0 and 1, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, etc. But the notches are all like, some of them are the same length. Some of them are different lengths, okay? That tells us how it's split up. If you were to count all the notches between the inches, you get 16. So that means that we would say this ruler is accurate to a 16th of an inch. And these other lengths represent things like half an inch, a quarter of an inch, an eighth of an inch. We'll get into that more later in this lesson. Okay, but that's referred to as the precision of a measuring instrument. And right now we're just going to stick with rulers for measuring length. Okay, so going back to accuracy versus precision. Let's say you're shooting at a target. And four people are shooting at 4 targets. And person A takes 5 shots there. Is that accurate?
Well, were they trying to aim there? No.
No, we're trying to assume, we assume that they're aiming for the middle.
Okay.
Is it accurate? Is it precise? Good. Not accurate. Precise. How about B?
Wouldn't it be technically not accurate but precise because the fact that they're all around one section? It's not accurate or they're in the same section, but they're completely like one in the middle, but they're in, but they're trying to shoot in the middle. So like it's not precise because it's like all of them are going to one area.
Right. And it's not accurate because it's off the center. Okay, so yeah, we would probably say with this one, I mean, it's not, like, it's not terrible, but it's not great. So the easiest thing to say would be not accurate, not precise.
Wouldn't the third one be accurate and precise?
Absolutely. Third one is the best one. Accurate, precise. What would you say about the fourth one?
Not accurate, not precise.
Yeah, it would be very similar to B. I mean, probably, well, less accurate than B and about the same precision. Okay, but we could still say not accurate, not precise. Good. Right. Okay, so that's the difference between the two words. Now let's look at stating the precision of measuring instruments that we talked about. Okay, so a radius of a circle is measured to be 28 millimeters. What is the precision of the measuring device? All you do is you look at the last digit of the number and get its place down. We don't go into decimal, would we? The most precise is 1 unit, right? Because this is the ones unit. So the precision would be nearest 1 millimeter. If it was 28.1, you would say nearest 10th of a millimeter. If it was 28.75, you would say nearest 100th. You just read the place value. Okay, here, with these two, what's the precision of the ruler that you're given there? Nearest one centimeter. That's the best we can do. So C is closest to which whole number? How about B? A? All of them are 5. Yes, we know they're not the same length. Okay? The precision is not great. We need to be a little bit more precise. So what if we took the same 3 pieces of string and used this ruler, which would be accurate to the nearest what? Nearest, yeah, we could either say 10th of a centimeter or millimeter. Both, you're right, both of those are correct. So what would C be? We could count the little notches as millimeters. So that means this would be 10, 20, 30, 40. So we're looking at what? 40. We're doing C. 48? Sure. How about B? 53?
And this is the A51.
A 50 or 51?
Oh, I the wrong.
Yeah, so that looks like it's pretty close to 50. So we're a little more precise now, right? So we would just say we're more precise than with just centimeters. Okay, so that's metric. Let's look at some what's called imperial or US measurements, specifically inches and parts of inches. So if you look at this, you can see this is blown up now. Let's look between 1 and 2. If you counted all the notches, no matter what length they were, in between 1 and 2, you get 16 of them. Okay? If you counted these ones that are a little bit longer, including this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then finish at 8. So those ones are 8. These ones, longer ones, and actually this should be the same length as that. This breaks it up into 1, 2, 3, 4 fourths. This longest one breaks it up into halves. Okay? So what we want to do is we are asked to the nearest half inch, how long is this piece of string? The half inches are these ones and these ones. So these two lengths here are half inches. Which one am I closest to? 2.5? 2.5's over here. Oh, never mind. My mistake. Yeah, we're close to 2.5. So we would say 2.5 inches. You know what I was looking at. Okay, what if we did 1/4 inches? 1/4 inches are these ones that breaks it up into fourths. Again, that should be a little longer. How about this one? Where am I at? Well, we got 2, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, right? That would be the closest we could get. If we did 8s, that's these ones that splits. It's all the notches that split it up into 8s, like so. Those are the ones that split it up into 8s. So obviously we're at 2, and then we've got 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and then 3. So where am I closest?
3/8, 2, 3/8.
3/8?
Oh, I know.
3/8 is here.
5.
5/8 would be. Yeah. Okay. And then finally, this is the most precise. Oh, sorry. Did I do it? Nope, didn't do it to 16. Well, we could have done it to 16. Okay. Okay. Just a couple of more problems to look at. So a homeowner wishes to build a fence around her property. The shape of her property is rectangle. The dimensions are 65 meters by 32 meters. How precise are the dimensions? Nearest
1 meter.
Nearest 1 meter. Because there's no decimals. The most precise is the ones unit. So nearest 1 meter. What's the perimeter? How would you find it?
65 plus 65, 5 plus 32 plus 32.
Yeah. 65 plus 65 plus 32 plus 32, or 2 times 65 plus 2 times 32, that 501 works. So 130 and 64, I believe, gives us 194. Okay. How about this one? Actually, let's do B first, so to stay consistent. A rectangular painting has dimensions 7.8 centimeters by 9.4 centimeters. How precise are these measurements? Nearest 1/10. you could just write the word tenths. And then how would we find the area? Multiply the two. And in this case, we're going to get 2 decimals for an answer, 73.32 centimeters squared. Okay. Like I said at the beginning, I mean, accuracy and precision is extremely important, especially if you're constructing very small things. Okay. Like electronic circuits, miniature electronic circuits. Accuracy and precision is very important, as well as eye care. Preparation of medications. Okay, I mean, you want to be accurate with the quantity, and then when you measure it out, you want to be precise. Otherwise, it causes health problems. Okay? Pardon me?
Would this also count for like,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay.